MOD Onlay for ceramic restorations. I'm showing you here a photograph of a finished preparation with all the ideal measurements overlaid. You can see that it's a very conservative preparation with about 1/3 of the occlusal dimension buccolingually being comprised of the isthmus, and the boxes are approximately 1.2 millimeters deep axially. You can also see the clearance is perhaps a little bit more than an amalgam at 0.5 to 1 millimeters. It has a shoulder on the functional cusp, and the occlusal clearance is approximately 1.5 to 2 millimeters. Let's also remember that gold onlays and ceramic onlays are incredibly different. When you look at the diagram on the left, and this is a photo of a model that we use for teaching purposes, you can see the line angles are very sharp. All of the external features flow very smoothly, but the internal features are very sharp. Transitions between inclines and walls are crisp and well defined. This is required for maximal retention for gold restorations. The diagram on the right outlines a very different preparation. It does have a flowing outline form on the external, but it also has very smooth internal features. No sharp edges as we transition from an incline to a vertical wall, or from a vertical wall to a pulpal wall. All of these areas are smoothed off. And perhaps this is one of the most important steps at the end of the onlay to make sure that the ceramic is not going to be undergoing unreasonable amounts of stress. Let's go ahead and get started on the preparation. Alright, so we're going to show you the MOD preparation for an onlay, tooth number 18. And the first thing we'll do is a very quick amalgam preparation. I have in the handpiece right now a 330 burr. And we're going to switch over to our high speed. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop our boxes now. After we get down like that, we can just break off the box. And then this is what I meant by chipping. Turn the instrument around. Okay, that's how we get a box done. We'll do the same thing on the distal.
orient the hatchet so that it goes in the right direction, even if you haven't broken the contact completely. Okay, then we'll drop down that distal a little bit more and not going. Okay, and then let's smooth. 𝐸47KR is about the right amount of taper. You may find that you need to tip the burr a little bit more than the burr gives you. And you see how we've got the wall shadow across that occlusal part? It's nice and uniform. So now you want to do the same thing on the lingual wall as you've done on the facial. You can look at it from the mesial view and get a pretty good idea of how much draw taper you need. Or you have, you know, whatever. Use your hand as a milling machine. Once again, keep going until you got adequate taper. If you're dropping your pulpal wall down a little further, not a problem. Lean the burr towards the distal here and towards the mesial here. And you need to be able to see Dixie cups. Okay, you see the Dixie cup right here? And you need to find another Dixie cup back here. Do you see it? Then you know you've got draw. And if you don't see Dixie cups, you need to keep going until you have it. Once you've got that part done, with the burr here, you can try to use this in the box if your box is big enough. You notice that the box is pretty big. It allows for us to get the burr in here. That's a definite advantage to prepping it a little bit more aggressively. And we've created a few funny little wings here, and we're just going to use the off-angle chisel to snap them off And folks, which way is the bevel facing on the instrument?
Towards the side of it.
Right, towards me, right? And here it's away from me. So get a little bit of an inlay going. It doesn't have to be flawless at this point. Just get something started. Secondary cutting edge is kind of helpful to even out the axial walls. Okay, so we need more clearance on the distal down here at the gingival. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. I can use a gingival margin trimmer to gain a little clearance, because I'm afraid if my burr gets in there I might hit tooth number 17. But the gingival margin trimmer will break down through that area very quickly and very safely without having to take a burr in there. Isn't that cool? Hold the burr so that it's in the proper angle. It follows the original slope, right? Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here on the C-plane. Okay, and now we're going to do the A-plane. See the angle we used here? Use it here. The angle we used here, use it here. So whatever angle I used for this A-plane, C-plane, we're going to use right here. So the same angulation here is used here. You see that these are leaning in like they were originally. They're not flat. So one of the things that's cool about this is that you'll be able to get the cusp tip back into the center. Let me hold it this way. The cusp tip on the buckle will go back to the middle where they belong. And that's my goal. I'm not even measuring. I'm just shaving until the cusp tips return to where they were. And that tells me how much I need to take away. Isn't that kind of neat? So at this point, we just need to refine and put a shoulder, and we're done. So we're going to go ahead and let's put a shoulder on here now. Okay, we're going to start it at the bottom of the A-plane. And we're going to keep it reasonably straight. Okay, and then you see how on the lingual there, distal facial rather, we need to connect it a little further. And then we need to extend that a little bit more. But the basic onlay's done in terms of like the major elements. They're all finished. And it doesn't take long, you know. Smooth. The bulk of the work is in the refinement, because you really cannot have any sharp edges. They've got to be rounded out, so you just keep going around those. One of the burrs that works really well is this one here. Make sure that the axial walls are leaning in towards each other. And all those transition areas are rounded, right? Just don't let the instrument go all the way down to the bottom without keeping it moving. change the angle on this one here to a little more of a flare. You know, you don't want to have anything that could potentially be misconstrued as undercut or undermined. Flip that puppy around, crunch, crunch, and then you can see how you can kind of balance out the size of the exit angles of the 4 boxes. And you notice on the mesial there's like a little, it's subtle to see, but I think if you look, you can just look it down at the gingival right in the middle. It looks like it's just a little bit right there. So you can take the instrument, this is what I was doing before. You can take the instrument sideways like this and use the bevel towards the wall and slice up like a root planing instrument. Now you have to have some practice doing this, but you're reshaping the tooth from below. And you can even do this clinically. But you see how that just made it a lot more uniform, that one little move. Now you can use then your off-angle chisels, 42S, the best one, to smooth the rough areas. Thanks. You can use the gingival margin trimmer. Okay, so you can just take this just to sort of remove any loose rough areas. Not like I said, you're not really trying to create a bevel. And if you tip it back this way, you won't create a bevel. You know what I mean? You're not holding it upright. You're holding it back. So the entire end of the instrument is touching the wall rather than just the edge of the tip. And what that's going to do is remove the rough areas at the end. Low in there, please. And so you can start to make that box pretty spectacular. And then you can do the same thing on the distal. Once again, holding the instrument in there, try to get the whole wall rather than just the edge. And that works out pretty well. Yes. 3. And I think these are probably a little bit on the deep side. Oh, and that's pretty good. Oh, what do you know? 1.2. What can I say? Here, just a little conservative, so we'll go a little deeper there. Make sure it goes all the way through like it is right there. And if it sweeps uphill a little bit here, see how you can kind of tease it back? Thank you, Bansu. Okay, B minus.
B plus.
No.
B minus is for what? Comments for
It's
B
okay.
minus.
That's the question. How close to this are you doing it in the chair side with the patient? You're getting as close to this.